Hello everybody, this is Nam Talks from NTF GAMING.com, and I'm here to bring you another factual opinion, the only place to get the correct opinion on the state of video games. And today's episode is going to be about For Honor, Ubisoft's latest exclusive AAA big new game. And I have to say, when they first announced this at E3 2016, I was very excited. The premise of it, the way it looked, it just seemed like it was something that me and my friends have talked about for so long, a game with combat like that and the factions and the Bushido Blade style methodical battles, and it just seemed really cool. That CG trailer was awesome, the premise of it really made me interested, and watching all the gameplay made me interested. Playing the beta made me more interested, and by the time it came out, I was actually pretty excited for it. And I have to say, I am pretty disappointed. We got the game, and we went right into the campaign because I was excited about it. I know a lot of people were only focused on the multiplayer aspect, but I was really excited because they said I was going to have a full, cinematic campaign, and the word of mouth was that the campaign was pretty solid. So, we go in there, and to the credit, the Knight campaign, which is the first out of 3 campaigns, you have 3 factions: Knights, Vikings, and Samurai. The Knights campaign is really well done, even though it's 6 missions long, there's a through line, there's a reason for things to be happening. You're introduced to the world, you're introduced to Apollyon, who's like the big bad of the game. You're introduced to the Knights faction and multiple people in that faction. The co-op worked well. It was a really interesting story with a lot of cool moments in it. Great set pieces and choreographed fight scenes, like something you see out of Spartacus or Game of Thrones. And all the expectation I had was matched until I went to play the rest of that campaign. And the Vikings campaign, and even worse, the Samurai campaign, are some of the worst cinematic gameplay experiences I have ever played in my life. I've made another video about the acting of For Honor. It just falls apart. The voice acting is terrible. They are inconsistent with the language. Sometimes they'll speak their native tongue, but then they'll speak with a different voice actor, mind you. Proper, normal English, but very poorly done. So you'll hear a Japanese character in combat speaking Japanese, but then say something like, "We need to watch our backs." And it's very clearly 2 different voice actors voicing one character, sometimes in the span of 10 seconds, and it just breaks the illusion completely. The storyline goes nowhere. The set pieces just fall off the earth. The mission design itself becomes very boring. It's just an extremely disappointing end to what could have been something really neat. So, with that being a disappointment and a complete bummer, we are then forced to go into the multiplayer, which, when it works well, when everything in For Honor works fine, you get 8 players, no one lags out, no one hacks, no one rage quits, no one decides to use a lag switcher. You don't go up against a team of 4 guys who have prestige 5 times and have gear that will kill you in about 2 hits, or people who don't rage quit when they get beat. If you can get that, or if the Ubisoft game servers don't drop you, you can have a good time. The basic feel of the characters, it looks fantastic. It's really well playing at moments, but I've only had that happen twice. I've tried multiple times, the weekdays, weekends, nighttime, daytime, and it is almost impossible to get a normal 4-on-4 multiplayer match without something happening. Either somebody rage quits or somebody disconnects, forcing anyone to drop from the server. And this past weekend, because of the strange decision to have this game be always online, like Ubisoft has been doing, I couldn't play the game at all because the servers were down. I couldn't play single player. I couldn't play offline versus bots. I couldn't do anything. And that's just not acceptable. If you're going to make a multiplayer game in this day and age, and that's your main focal point, and it is their main focal point, because as soon as you boot that game up, there's tons of DLC, and buy these crests and buy these executions, and it's all very expensive. It's going to be very difficult to unlock any of that stuff just by playing the game without paying for the premium pass or just straight up buying the content with your money. It's pretty gross with the microtransaction stuff. And without dedicated servers, why should I be invested? Overall, For Honor is a pretty disappointing experience, from the really poorly done campaign to the terrible server issues and just the various amount of bugs they have from the peer-to-peer server structure. It takes what could have been a really cool product and just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth and just makes me not want to play it anymore, honestly. Now, I'm not saying they can't fix this stuff. The problems with For Honor's multiplayer can be fixed, but we shouldn't have had to do so many beta tests to end up with a product that was that broken at launch. I'm tired of that trend in video games. I'm tired of it just being the norm. It needs to stop. So For Honor gets a 2 out of 5. The premise is there, the look and the feel, but everything else about it is just a complete letdown. I can't recommend it. Maybe Steam summer sale for like $15 or something. Then you could pick it up, and maybe it's patched by then. But as it is right now, it is a letdown. So that is my factual opinion on For Honor. 2 out of 5. Not recommended. So that's unfortunate. I really wish it was better. This is Nam Talks. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.